Good morning, awesome people. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. This is One Sober to Another. Today's daily reflection for 19 November 2020. I was slipping fast. Let's go. Good morning. It's great to see all your happy faces once again. I'm glad you're here. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. I said it twice because there's a purpose. I was slipping fast. We AAs are active folk, enjoying the satisfaction of dealing with the realities of life. So it isn't surprising that we often tend to slight serious meditation and prayer as something not really necessary. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 96. I had been slipping away from the program for some time, but it took a death threat from a terminal disease to bring me back, and particularly to the practice of the 11th step of our blessed fellowship. Although I had 15 years of sobriety and was still very active in the program, I knew that the quality of my sobriety had slipped badly. 18 months later, a checkup revealed a malignant tumor, and the prognosis of certain death was 6 months. Despair settled in when I enrolled in a rehab program, after which I had suffered 2 small strokes which revealed 2 large brain tumors. As I kept hitting new bottoms, I had to ask myself why this was happening to me. God allowed me to recognize my dishonesty and to become teachable again. Miracles began to happen, but primarily I relearned the whole meaning of the 11th step. My physical condition has improved dramatically, but my illness is minor compared to what I almost lost completely. There's a lot of folks out there who can relate to this. You know, sometimes we stray from what we know is good for us. And prayer and meditation is one of those, and my conscious contact with my higher power has to remain consistent. That's just for me, folks. I don't know what is best for you. However, I can say that, the 11th step as well as the others are a primary purpose in my life, and it keeps me on a path that is true to myself and to my higher power. This person here in the reading discovered that there was a lot going on with him physically, and as a result suffered 2 strokes and had a brain tumor and was straying away from the program. And now that's not to say that the program cured him. What it does suggest is that prayer and meditation not only helped him through his conditions, but helped him develop again spiritually and be able to connect with his higher power and to be able to put his conditions and his ailments in the hands of his higher power. Now, it's not to say, the hand of God touched him, but for me, I know that when I was getting out of the Army, I learned that there was a lot of things seriously wrong with me. And that was, for me, that was due to alcohol. And how it was due to alcohol was not only the damage that it did to me, but the damage that I ignored when I was intoxicated and when my mind was saturated with that poison. As a result of that, when I got sober, man, I started to feel all kinds of things. I started to feel, the stomach burning, and, my head was not exactly right, and I still had a lot of heart throbbing to where my heart always felt like it was going to bust out of my chest. And I did have some hard time breathing. And that was all in part to the things that I ignored when I was drunk. I did stray away from the program for quite some time. I haven't had a relapse in 5 years, thank God. But I have gone away from the program. So what this reading is saying to me is I need to come back to what I know is good for me. My daily medicine, which is the daily reflections as well as my program. And if I don't work my program, then my spiritual condition will deteriorate. I have to have a conscious contact with my higher power to do God's will. For me, it's God. To do God's will and to put my faith in humanity and drive on. If any of you out there can relate to this, drop a comment below. Lastly, I'm gonna wrap that up. So, you know, as long as we come back to the program, we will have a home, so to speak, literally and figuratively. That's what today's daily reflection is for me. So if you have any comments, drop them below. So last night I recorded a video on Zoom, and it was a really good meeting with a buddy of mine named Danny E. And somehow, I guess I didn't hit the right button. You know, I'm an alcoholic and I didn't pay attention to the instructions. And so I kind of lost that stuff. But don't worry, folks, I'm gonna get it back. It was a really good interview about how Alcoholics Anonymous program saved this person, and how he advocates for the program based out of his own experience. And he's not even an alcoholic or an addict, but the program worked in his life. And you know, daggone it, I'm gonna have another interview with him because he graciously agreed because of my fault. And we will get that out to you guys because it's really awesome, and he's a really awesome dude. He helped save my life, and I'm sure that he can be an influence to someone out there who's watching. This is one sober to another. Life is a garden, folks. Dig it. I'll see you in the next one.